Mark Twain goes off on this long chapter going over the pros and cons of this, specifically of the way of thinking of the ideology, and he examines the idea that so much of the pain, so much of the sensation we experience is just all in our heads. And he examines the concept of being able to reduce that pain, that displeasure, that the antithesis to felicity. I believe felicity is the word that Aristotle, I think it was, used in Nicomachean Ethics. That's the word I default to when talking about this sort of concept. So, reducing the antithesis to felicity. Twain thinks, yeah, well, this way of thinking probably will have a good effect on the world in that way. And something else I wrote down, I know it's not an exact fit for the concept. I also know the word placebo effect. I don't think that was invented in Mark Twain's time, but it made me think of the concept of placebo effect, the way he described it. And the other conclusion he comes to is he hypothesizes that the happiness in the average Christian Science believer will trickle down to them doing better at their job, and that will trickle down to society as a whole being improved. So he concludes all this by saying, will it make the world happier? He believes there's a good chance, yes. And another thing he says, he goes into, on one tangent, talking about people who will inevitably say that other parents shouldn't be allowed to take their kids to a Christian Science doctor, they should be made to take their kids to a real doctor. And the response he gives to that is, why shouldn't parents be able to give their kids what they believe is the best treatment? Because I do see the same argument in the modern day with a lot of various things. Twain's answer to that would seem to be, is it your kid? No. Is it the state's kid? No. It's the parent's kid. The parents should decide what they think is best for their kid, even if the parents are what we would consider crazy. And that's another important tangent we get into. What is craziness?